Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are taking on a figure who is, well, so iconic, so deeply embedded in global theology that I think we often overlook his really profound and specific role in esoteric tradition.
We really do. We're moving far beyond the common biblical narrative today.
Right.
Our focus is Archangel Gabriel, and we're looking at his unique significance within systems like Freemasonry and Kabbalah. We're drawing everything from the chapter 12 Archangels, chapter 02.
And our mission really is to uncover Gabriel, not just as some historical character, but as an archetype, the ultimate archetype of communication, initiation, and transformation.
He's that inner prompt, the link that makes sacred change possible for a person.
So where do we start? His core identity, I suppose.
I think we have to. The divine herald, the ultimate go-between, the intermediary between heaven and earth. But what strikes me right away is the meaning of his name. God is my strength.
God is my strength.
And that simple phrase, it just holds this incredible paradox. It's a blend of gentle speech, which you need for sensitive spiritual stuff, but it's backed by this commanding authority.
Because the message he's delivering is always reality-altering.
Always. It's destined to change things.
That's fascinating. The idea that strength isn't in the volume, but in the, I guess, the integrity of the message itself.
Right.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Where do we begin? The biblical foundations.
The most familiar place, yeah. In Judeo-Christian texts, Gabriel's role is consistently as the revealer of mysteries. He proclaims these history-altering events. He doesn't just carry notes. He delivers destinies.
And the most famous example is, of course, the Annunciation. His appearance to Mary in the Gospel of Luke. That wasn't just a forecast, was it? It was an activation.
Precisely. And then you have the book of Daniel, where he's not just a messenger, he's more of a cosmic translator.
A translator.
Yeah. Daniel gets these incredibly dense prophetic visions, and Gabriel is the one who steps in to interpret them. He explains complex timelines. He even speaks about the end times. He makes the language of prophecy understandable.
So he's the voice of the divine logos in action, the breath that animates revelation.
He is.
Okay, so if that's true, does that mean every spoken ritual word, say in a Masonic lodge, is meant to carry that same kind of divine potential?
That is the critical pivot. That's where the esoteric tradition really steps in. For the initiate, Gabriel represents the ritual voice itself.
So not just the words, but the act of speaking them.
The utterance, the breath of inspiration that turns hidden wisdom, things written in books or just sort of in the ether into spoken transformative truth.
And that idea of transmission is just. It's paramount in ritual, isn't it? The process of mouth to ear, it's not just reading a script.
No, it's about fidelity, intention, the resonance of the communication. Every single charge delivered, every word spoken with that intention, it echoes Gabriel's tradition.
It's an annunciation.
It's a heralding of the transformation that the initiate is about to go through.
So the ritual isn't just instruction. It's a communication of a divine blueprint for personal change. Which brings us right to the start of the journey, doesn't it?
It does. If we connect this archetype to the initiation process, Gabriel's function as the celestial examiner and instructor, it ties directly into the entered apprentice degree.
This is where the candidate is first asked to answer questions.
Exactly. The process of moving from darkness to symbolic light, they have to navigate a series of questions, answers, signs, grips, all of it.
It's an examination.
It's an intense examination, and it recalls Gabriel's function perfectly, vetting the sincerity, ensuring the candidate is receptive, and then proclaiming the path forward.
So the archangel is there implicitly, right at the threshold.
Setting the standard. And that standard is reinforced by his elemental correspondences. He's traditionally aligned with the element of water.
Water, which means purification, intuition, reflection. All of that is crucial for the preparation of the inner temple.
It's about emotional and intuitive readiness. Water doesn't cut or shape, it cleanses. It prepares the vessel to receive instruction.
And his direction is the west.
The west, right. Setting sun. So it's the end of a cycle, but also the promise of renewal, the light that will return.
The point of reflection before the dawn. And the color, white or silver.
It aligns with the light the initiate receives. Pure, clear, instructive. It's the light of lunar reflection. More about intuition than the direct, fierce light of the sun.
That's a key distinction. And the water association, that obviously leads us to alchemical traditions.
Right, where water is the fluid of interchange. And that transition from the initial cleaning of the entered apprentice to true interchange, that links us perfectly to the fellowcraft degree.
The winding staircase.
Exactly. The emphasis shifts from moral instruction to real intellectual and spiritual growth.
So how does Gabriel's influence change from the first degree to the second?
I think in The Entered Apprentice, Gabriel is the herald who says, hear this word, but in the Fellowcraft, his wisdom is more subtle. It's apply this word. The candidate is ascending, not just taking notes. They're integrating abstract concepts. And that requires a kind of Gabriel-like wisdom. Not forceful, but clear, compelling, and something that stirs the unconscious.
That watery, intuitive side.
To clarify that inner path of learning.
So he's guiding us through the structure of our own consciousness, which brings us perfectly to the celestial map of Kabbalah.
Indeed. We're moving from the geometry of the lodge to the geometry of the soul. We have this archangel of lunar watery energy. So where does he fit on the tree of life?
Astrologically, he's aligned with Cancer, which is ruled by the moon, so intuitive, emotional, nurturing. And on the Kabbalistic tree, Gabriel resides in the ninth sphere.
Yesod.
Yesod, which means foundation. And it is a profoundly vital sephira. Think of it like this. If the highest spheres are pure abstract light,
Like Kether.
right, then Yesod is like the high-powered projector screen, or a cosmic mirror. It's a bridge between the purely spiritual and the material world below. It takes that abstract light and focuses it so we can actually interact with it. So Gabriel, by ruling this sphere, he governs that filtering process. He's the guardian of the unconscious temple, where dreams and visions and hidden knowledge get formed.
Precisely. And this has a direct Masonic correlation. Gabriel corresponds to the symbolic middle chamber.
This is where the Fellowcraft, after climbing the winding staircase, receives the wages of wisdom.
It's where those divine impressions are finally earned. They're materialized, integrated into the structure of your life. It's the moment the abstract lessons become concrete.
And the moon's lesson, governing Yesod, is that truth is unveiled slowly, in degrees, that silence often precedes understanding.
Yes, you have to pause and reflect to receive the light, not just chase it. You must be receptive.
Moving from the visual reflection to the audible. That's to talk about sound. Freemasonry is also a vibratory tradition. The recitation, the intonation of names, the gavel, the steps.
All of it carries meaning, and Gabriel governs this entire domain. His influence isn't just in the words themselves, but in the intonation, the rhythm, the emotional resonance.
Which links to the throat chakra in other traditions, the center of communication and truth.
And this focus on the sacredness of sound connects directly to the Masonic vocal sign.
An emblem of fidelity, secrecy, and controlled transmission.
Which brings us back to Gabriel's authority. He teaches us to choose speech carefully, to honor our word, and the biblical example the source gives is fascinating. It's Mary after the Annunciation.
Luke 2.100. She kept all these things and pondered them in her heart.
Exactly. Pondering the truth silently before you even try to express it. The ultimate teaching is silence is sometimes the highest form of communication.
And a spoken word can't be unspoken.
Right. If you speak rashly, the integrity is lost.
Speaking of powerful imagery, we have to address the big one. Gabriel as the trumpeter of the last day, the call of resurrection. I know it's not strictly biblical.
It isn't, but it's a deeply powerful archetype. And that image of the trumpet blast, it finds profound resonance in the Master Mason degree.
The symbolic death and raising.
Absolutely. The voice of Gabriel is implicit in that trumpet blast of awakening. It's calling forth what has fallen, reviving what's been buried. It's a call to mastery.
And you see it again in the Royal Arch degree with the recovery of the lost word. It's always tied to revelation, to divine guidance.
Even in tarot, the judgment card, that's Gabriel with the trumpet, calling the dead to rise. The symbolism is so clear. Initiation is a resurrection.
The word of power bridges death and life.
Silence and expression. It ensures the hidden essence is recovered.
Let's circle back to that subtle energy you mentioned. The paradox of strength and gentleness. We've been using masculine terms, the herald, but his energy. It has a feminine polarity, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Because of the moon and water associations, his energy is inherently receptive, luminous, nurturing. This aligns him with the Shekinah.
The indwelling divine presence, often seen as a feminine aspect in Kabbalah.
Yes, and in some esoteric traditions, the Shekinah is a lost feminine principle that's awaiting restoration.
So Gabriel, as the bridge of Yesod, is the perfect medium for this receptive energy.
He is. The Annunciation itself, Gabriel coming to Mary, it becomes this profound archetypal moment of divine feminine awakening. The receptive soul, the womb, receives the seed of divine wisdom, and then it becomes manifest.
So the lesson for the initiate is about balance. It's not enough to be strong and commanding.
No, you have to also be receptive and intuitive. You have to learn to receive, to listen deeply to those subtle messages before you ever try to speak.
The wisdom of the herald is knowing when to speak and, maybe more importantly, when to be still.
I think that's it. Gabriel teaches that the highest form of spiritual strength often lies in receptivity.
So boiling this all down,
hmm
what does this mean in practical terms for someone trying to live by these principles?
I think Gabriel provides a very concrete mandate. To align with this archangel is to commit to a practice of clarity and purity of speech. It means mindful communication.
In transmitting sacred knowledge with integrity.
Yes, and constantly fostering an awareness of your intuition, of dreams, of those hidden messages that guide you.
And this isn't just abstract, it's channeled through the lodge system itself. The orators, the chaplains, the lecturers, they act as modern conduits for this.
Their words are meant to be transformative, not just informative. They're fulfilling Gabriel's archetype. He is the enduring voice of the temple. Every single initiation is an annunciation, a divine proclamation of a higher potential.
He invites the Mason to become a living echo of the word.
Speaking light where there is darkness.
He is the guardian of the inner sanctum of the soul, whispering truths that only the still, purified heart can really hear.
He shows us that the foundation of truth, Yesod, it lies in receptive reflection just as much as it does in outward expression.
So if we accept that concept of Gabriel as the herald of your own higher self, speaking the message of what you're meant to become, then we have to ask a final question. For you, listening, what message from the divine or from your own higher self are you currently being called to deliver? Or maybe more importantly, being called to finally embody? Think about that next time you choose to speak or choose to listen.